Deep Dive and Analysis. Welcome to the analysis of chapters 2 and 3 of Wuthering Heights. In these pivotal scenes, Emily Bronte strips away the veneer of Victorian civility to reveal a world of inherited trauma and domestic ferocity. As Lockwood transitions from a curious outsider to a terrified witness, we begin to uncover the ghostly foundations of the Earnshaw and Heathcliff legacy. In Chapter 2, Bronte uses the setting of the huge, warm, cheerful apartment to create a deceptive sense of security that is immediately undercut by the characters' behavior. The author's intent is to establish Wuthering Heights as a place of mismatching, where the physical comfort of a roaring fire contrasts sharply with the dismal spiritual atmosphere. The symbolism of the dead rabbits, which Lockwood mistakes for pet cats, serves as a grim omen. It suggests that in this house, things that should be domestic and soft are instead cold, lifeless, and part of a cycle of predation. This sets the stage for a world where traditional social graces are not just absent, but are actively mocked as weaknesses.
The introduction of the younger Catherine and Hareton Earnshaw in Chapter 2 highlights the theme of social degradation. Lockwood's constant blunders regarding their relationships, mistaking Catherine for Heathcliff's wife and Hareton for his son, emphasize how far the inhabitants have strayed from conventional family structures. Bronte uses these awkward interactions to symbolize the tangled roots of the Heights. The scorn and desperation in Catherine's eyes suggest she is a prisoner of her own lineage. By showing us this family through Lockwood's confused eyes, Bronte forces us to realize that the rules of the outside world simply do not apply in this isolated moorland fortress.
Chapter 3 introduces the oak-case bed, a powerful symbol of both protection and imprisonment. By retreating into this wooden closet, Lockwood is physically entering the private, repressed history of the house. The author's intent is to create a liminal space, a boundary between the living and the dead. The discovery of the names Catherine Earnshaw, Heathcliff, and Linton scratched into the paint acts as a symbolic map of the novel's plot. It represents a soul in flux, unable to find a stable identity. This writing on the wall transforms the room into a psychic chamber where the past is literally etched into the present, waiting to be reread by an intruder. The nightmare of the ghost of Catherine at the window is the moment the novel shifts into the supernatural. Bronte's intent is to show that the moors do not just harbor cold weather, but a cold and restless history. Lockwood's reaction, rubbing the child's wrist on the broken glass, is a shocking symbol of how the Heights corrupts even a civilized man. It suggests that terror makes us cruel, mirroring Heathcliff's own transformation. The ghost's cry of being a waif for 20 years establishes the central tragedy, a soul that cannot find its way home, trapped between the world of the living and the world of the dead. The chapter concludes with the raw, emotional exposure of Heathcliff. Seeing him plead at the window for Cathy to come in reveals the intent behind his outward cruelty. Bronte uses this vulnerability to contrast with Lockwood's superficiality. While Lockwood sees a nightmare, Heathcliff sees his entire existence. The final trek back to Thrushcross Grange through the billowy white ocean of snow symbolizes Lockwood's total disorientation. He leaves the Heights physically depleted and mentally haunted, serving as the reader's surrogate into a story where the boundaries between love, hate, and death are permanently blurred. End of the analysis. Please like, comment, and subscribe.